it's Cheesy Bands, and I have my very first Minecraft 100 Days video where our goal is to defeat the end. But of course, there were challenges and lots of deaths, even questionable ones. I don't know how that happened. Of course, though, there were some happy moments. But happy moments, however, come with some sadness. So come and join me in my 100 days journey. For the first few days into my new world, I got wood, sheep, food, you name it. And I also, of course, had to make a purple bed. My hair's purple. Duh. I upgraded my tools pretty swiftly from wood to stone and then to iron. As I was traveling down this rock area, I found a burning zombie and he decided to burn me too. Then I saw something. Is there an egg? Yeah, I forgot there was different colored eggs and also meaning different colored chickens, so that was exciting. After sleeping near spawn on the first night, I went up and cooked up some food that I had collected and then went on a search to find a place that I can call home. And on my way there, I found a village, and this village was on a hill. They had a brewing stand and also a villager that needed my help, so I helped him. And there was this iron golem, and I guess I really just don't learn from my mistakes. Previous mistakes. I hit you. Yeah, that's right, I hit him, and I proceeded to stay there. Once the coast was clear, I grabbed what I could from the village and headed off to try and find an area that I can finally settle. That was until I saw this massive rock. And what's about to happen is a good example why I can't do hardcore. Oh, shit. What? Hi. Once I made it back, I went up the water and made a platform so I can safely land on it. Except there was somebody that had other plans for me when I got up. Yo, this is my land, alright? The freaking mountain. Nothing even near you for you to explore. Yeah, so after the creeper and the zombie both were hiding in the dark and gave me a fright, I decided to go up into that little cave where they're coming from and clear it out. No, get back here. Oh. Ow. Oh my god, what the? No. After these intense moments, especially where this creeper left me on one block, I decided to do a little bit more of calming activities. So I smelted up iron, upgraded my tools and my armor. So I was all prepared. Because I wanted to go mining. I wanted to get diamonds. I also wanted to go down here and check out what it looks like underneath my rock. And somehow I made this Enderman mad. But look at this. Look at this mess of monsters ready to tear me apart. Oh my god, if this was the zombie apocalypse, I'd be screaming. A part of me wanted to attack them all, but another part of me didn't want to risk my 1.5 hearts, so I cowardly swam away. But I went over to this other island because that's where all the Endermen were teleporting to, and I wanted their pearls so we can get to the end. And as nighttime fell, I hopped in a boat, checking out my surroundings, finding a village where I stole absolutely all of their goodies and slept in their bed. And on day 5, I kept looking around more, but these creepers had other plans for me. Look at that, 1.5 heart already. But I found the pillager post, and I also heard a crap ton of zombies. Like, a crap ton. Oh my god, it's a spawner. Oh my god, it's a spawner. Stop it. Look how close to the surface it is. No way. What do we got? I turned off the lights and let them continue spawning because I was going to make a farm out of them later on. And I left an S for spawner so I knew where it was. Then I hopped into the river and headed down shore, finding yet another village, literally in a straight line. So I explored it with not much to find and decided to head off. Oh my god, it's a dog! Now I have a new best friend. I didn't name him, so we're gonna name him Pup. Me and Pup went ahead into our first cave together. But this is where I found something new about Pup. Oh my god, it's running away from my dog. Get him! I let Pup take care of the skeleton as I wasn't worried getting shot, and I took care of all these zombies. But then there was Endermen on my way out, and I needed their pearls. I bagged all my stuff and headed out, as this cave wasn't really much of a cave, it was just dead ends. As I was traveling through, I found a whole lot of terracotta, and even this cool blue patterned one. But it didn't stay with me for long. I found a hole in the ground, and I went deeper and deeper and deeper. But I wasn't worried about skeletons, because Pup had them handled. I just had to worry about the zombies. One after another. And another. But eventually, I found some diamonds. And I officially got my first diamond achievement. And then it was pretty smooth sailing. I got diamonds, and more diamonds. So my pup just rescued me, and that was probably a warning sign that I should have turned around and went home. Wow. Wow. Of course, I destroyed my bed and didn't reset my spawn point. On my way back, I grabbed a flower because, well, that was the last time I was going to see Pup, and I knew that because I had no idea where we were. Since I'm traveling through night, there was a lot of monsters coming out, and I dug a hole, the good old dirt hole. Good timing. I took a peek, just to end up going right back in. Once the coast was clear, I hopped out and tried to run, noticing I really needed food. So I decided to place some stuff down and go grab some fish. I cooked it up and started exploring around my little area. But I was not alone. Yeah, he wanted to join me, and I shouldn't have let him. Yeah. Now I was a little frustrated. I grabbed my flower once again from my pup, and I headed down. Missing the water. I went pretty far into the cave, and I ended up in like a lush area in a giant opening, which I really wanted to get to, but there was just so many zombies. I also found amethyst, which I was super excited about, because it's purple and it's pretty. I made a bucket because I in fact did not have a bucket of water, even though I can't land in water for the life of me. But anyways, I placed on the top instead of just dropping down, so that way I at least had a safe way up. At least so I thought. As I'm inching down, someone else had other plans. Yep, I was mad. I wanted a bed to make it daytime. I did not want to go through the night again, even though I probably should have because my days went by very fast for just sleeping. As I was heading back, I picked up a bone and found a new pup. Now this is Puppy. We had Pup, and now this is Puppy. Wow. So me and Puppy went into the caves. And Puppy once again kept me safe just like Pup from the skeletons. Once me and Puppy got there, we started looking for my stuff, but everything was gone. It hasn't even been a whole day. So we left and got out of there and went home. And then it didn't get so beautiful. And there was an Enderman just to tease me. I was mad again and wanted their wool. So I started beating on the sheep. It's terrible. Puppy took down all of the monsters around me so I could sleep peacefully. Once it was daytime, we headed up to our little plateau, I guess you could call it. And it looked a little boring. So, for the safe route, we decided to decorate and build a little bit. So I made a nice staircase out of dirt and stone. But then an inkling of me wanted to take a look at the angry mob below me again. Why is there that many skeletons? Oh my god. You're kidding me. I was like, you know what? I don't want any more mobs underneath my rock. So I started to light it up the best I could. And there was creepers there. So I kind of just let them do their thing. Which, considering now I have 2 hearts, probably wasn't the best decision. But at least I set my spawn. So I just played a little bit of the dropper. Yes, by safe staircase, this was the ending of my staircases. I went back down with just a heart to collect my stuff and was, well, quickly swarmed by a lot of mobs. And I mean a lot. I wanted to take a peek and see how many were there with my 1 heart, so I did. So then I took my anger out on the spider. It went on for quite a bit, I will say. And then I heard a bunch of zombies and quickly built up because I was not becoming one of them. No thank you. No thank you. Then I started clearing out the rest of the mobs. My oh my, there's so many. And lighting it up all around. But as I was doing so, I started to hear something. Yeah, I ran. Yeah, if you heard that, you know what that is. And my 2 shaken, now 1.5, I guess, hearts can't handle that. So I went to bed. And as I went down to get more materials, I had to hide because somebody was searching for me. That's why I'm in this hole. You can see him. I knew it. I knew I wasn't crazy. There he is. And he's already shooting at me. So I took that as a get out of there. I still needed to go down, so I jumped off this little ledge that I made right into the water and many blocks away from him. So I thought. There he is. Just staring at me from the hill. What? You're kidding me. They just track you down? Anyways, I needed sand, so I found a little sand island and went for it. And then I rowed my boat back, looking at the pretty sky and water. Day 22, I went back to the other village, where the pillager post is, and rounded up some sheep. Except for the one group, of course, that I had tricked. On day 22 to day 25, I focused on making my rock a little more homey, bringing all my materials inside and making a little storage area. As I was working on my rock, I kind of fell through a hole, so this is me collecting the stuff that I had dropped. There was also an Enderman, and I needed him. And there was another one, so I also wanted him too. There was a skeleton, and that skeleton would not let me go. I managed to get the zombies to one side so I can swim on over and grab the rest of my stuff. Once that was done, I went back up to my safe area. Day 27, I kept building until I heard an Enderman. And yeah, I should have just stayed. But now I had to go get all my stuff. And there he was, waiting for me. Yep, I just went to bed. I couldn't do it. As soon as I woke up on day 28, I tracked down that Enderman. Yep. I wasn't done though. Yay, that kind of made me want to be done. Yep, peekaboo, not welcome. You're not welcome. Yeah, I was very scared. I had pressure plates on the other side, and I don't know why I did this. Don't worry, I removed them afterwards. And I didn't let him explode. Yay, good job, Jay. Anyways, I continued lighting it up because clearly I destroyed all my torches. Whoops. Then I decided to take a nice good look at my route. Yep, great view. And once again, I did not learn my lesson from the mountain area. And I had a water bucket. Yep. I went back and got the rest of my stuff and continued on taking down some of the trees so we can see who's really around. Then I saw the Enderman. And Puppy helped. But of course, he did not give me a pearl, which was very unfortunate. So I continued on taking down more trees, clearing out the area. And then I decided, you know what, I want a faster way up and down. So I decided to make an elevator, which was something I have done for the very first time. So I cleared out a hallway all the way to the top of where my bed was, and I figured I'd make a little tunnel to my little side tower. Then went back down to the mines, making a little water trail. And when I got down there was an Enderman. Once again, I made him angry. Then I decided, you know what, I can totally take him. One-on-one. I could not. Nope. Nope, and I did not set my spawn either. I don't know how or why. I don't. But I went back down, bringing Puppy with me. And we continued collecting as much iron and diamonds as we can find. As we went down, there was a friend for us too. Another Enderman. But I saw some diamonds, and I wanted those first, because I did not know what was going to happen to me. So I set Puppy down, and I decided to see what he was about. After some scary noises, he indeed was not about it. I dropped off all my stuff, realizing I needed way more diamonds. So, me and Puppy went back in. Me and Puppy went in back to where the big cave was, and zombies popping out left and right. That was okay. We took them out and collected more of our ores. But I got swarmed fairly quickly, and I thought, honestly, I was far enough away. But I was not. At least I set my spawn point down there, and I took the tools that I had left, took Puppy, and we went back to go and get our stuff.
quickly ran through, collecting everything I could possibly grab, which I think was everything. Then we headed back out. I needed diamond armor again, so I quickly made all the pieces to have a full set. And then I wanted to clear out the next tunnel in my rock, but got quickly ganged up on. And somehow completely pushed. That was not fair. And of course, I did not set my spawn point at home, but we made it back safely, picking up everything I had dropped. On the next day, me and Puppy took a trip to get some magna blocks because I needed that for my elevator. From my rock, I decided to look around to see if I can find a nether portal because I wanted a quicker way to get some obsidian. And I found one. And me and Puppy took off to the lava pit, grabbing some water so that way I can put it out. Then, after a long while, I finally got everything I needed and nighttime fell. So we headed back. Once I made it back, I decided to make a little bit of an entrance for where we're gonna put our nether portal. I made some carpet just to decorate it a little bit. Cute. And then the skeleton decided to interrupt me, but he unfortunately did not make it through his plan. I proceeded to fix up my farm. But of course, that was until I was rudely interrupted. Do you think he got me? Or do you think I got him? Yep, he got me. And then I wanted to get up there fairly fast, so I decided to throw an ender portal. But do you see where that's landing? Yep. Nope. Not a good spot. At least I set my spawn point that time. Then I went back out to get some leather because we needed lots of it for some books for enchantment. Taking a peek at the pillager pose, I noticed some friends in need, but I was too scared, honestly. I was too scared. And they just proved me right. Once I made it back, I decided to add some bookshelves and enchantment table as well. Finding 2 cows, I knew they would be useful, so I put them in a little pen with just 1 sheep, and I headed back to the mountains, because I figured there would be some cows. Seeing a cow in the far corner, I immediately went to it. Knowing that there was a whole bunch of cows, I knew I was about to get so much leather if I kept them all. That was until, once again, I was rudely interrupted. Yeah, you see that? Right there? Yeah, a whole squad of them.
Oh, they followed.
A whole squad, 3 of them. 3. I can't handle that. Nope, we left. Since we needed way more sugarcane, I hopped in the boat and changed my goal to find more sugarcane. And I did. We found a whole lot. As I was boating around, I noticed another village, so I wanted to see what they had to offer. But unfortunately, this village really had nothing. It was pretty bland. So I hopped in my boat and went back to my rock. Once I got back, I lit my nether portal. Just kidding. No, I actually did. See? Ta-da! We hopped in, and it was time to find a fortress. I immediately blocked it off because we were in a crimson forest. And I don't like those hogs. Dropping off most of my stuff so I wouldn't lose it, I prepared to travel out. Finding some glowstone on the way, I immediately collected it. But that was all. I wanted to put the glowstone back in my home. You're probably wondering, Jay, why are you in the nether? It got too scary. I decided to gear up and go to the nether portal that I had just made through the lava pit near the other village. So I jumped on down from my rock and landed into the water. But someone else didn't. So I took this ride for Puppy with the dolphins actually in the background, which I thought was so pretty. I headed on to the village over to the nether portal with the flint and steel. And in the back of my mind, I told myself, I'm gonna do this for Pup and Puppy. Once I made it through, I noticed this was actually a kind of decent spot. I liked it. I wasn't quite literally in the Crimson Forest, but just right outside of it. When I looked further down, I noticed there was actually a way more of an opening than where I was. So I headed down to the soul area, collecting some soul sand and some bone blocks because those were going to come in handy for the farm. I continued on and found the land of Enderman, the warped forest. I was definitely coming back here.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I really thought that was lava right there. That is.
I continued on, getting scared, thinking I just landed in lava. Yeah, that was pretty scary. I was not prepared for that.
My god. Hello.
Then I saw this giant cube, and I asked if he wanted to be friends. So I decided to get onto his height level.
I want you.
Literally. See that? I thought I was tall enough. Yep. I thought I was... Ooh. You gotta be quicker than that. Come on. Oh, no. Yep. I ran and hid immediately. Since I couldn't find another fortress anywhere near that portal, I went back to the other one, and I went right through the Crimson Forest. But this time, I made myself a barrier, so nothing could come around me. Continuing on, I went down, just to be more at a flatter level. And then right across from me, I actually noticed the Nether Fortress. It was right there this whole time. So I immediately went further down, as far down as I can, to make a bridge right across. And I really should have protected this bridge, but I did not. Look at that. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Yep. You really thought I was gonna make it, didn't you? Once I made it into another fortress, I very carefully looked around and placed a barrier. Up ahead, however, I saw some skeletons and a police, so I quickly put up another barrier, just so they couldn't get me. Then I heard another one above the roof, so I went up there and quickly got tag teamed. Yeah, I couldn't tell you why I jumped down the hole. I really couldn't tell you. But I went back just to find nothing. None of my stuff. So I dropped everything off that I did have and decided to say goodbye to the Nether. For now, at least. Next day, I made some more tools and more armor and built up my farm. Then I went back to the village and got some rest because I wanted to make a farm out of the spawner. But of course, the zombie interrupted me. When I was taking him on, I noticed something in the background. A new friend. I immediately took my time and tamed him. Then I blocked him in so he didn't lose his flesh. Then I headed down to the spawner, and there was actually a friend waiting for me. I did tell him he was no longer welcome. After it was all cleared, I took some time and dug it all out, creating the mob farm. And it went pretty well. Once I figured that out, I headed back to the village, noticing a very funny looking hole in the ground. And I wanted to explore it, so I headed on down, going further and further to a giant cavern. Yeah, that's right. There was a giant cavern right under the village, and I had no idea to know how many diamonds I could get out of this. Of course, there was witches, which I did not like. So I went down there, honestly, and I saved you guys the trip, but I got a lot of ore and diamonds. Exactly what I wanted. So I made a whole set. I headed on home to my rock and fixed up the elevator so I can start going up it. Now I officially have a faster way of going up. And I did not expect it to actually be this fast. Knowing that it worked successfully, I was very happy. Now I had to work on the way down. I guess that works. That worked a little too well, because now I'm all the way back into the village. So I had to make my way all the way back. And I figured I'd place a bucket of water at the bottom so I can at least jump in that for now. I lit up the top part with some glow berries just so it was a little more bright. Then once again, I went ahead to test out my way down. Yep. I have no excuse for that. Then I was ready to head back into the Nether because now we needed blaze rods to make the Eye of Ender. Very carefully, I ran across the very slim bridge that I had made. Once I made it in, I started exploring the fortress, making barriers so that way the whither could not get me. Because we don't like them. They're very scary. And they blend in. Once I poked my head through, I started hearing blazes, or a blaze. I wasn't too sure. So I wanted to look around. This is me trying to attract anything that may have fall above my head. And obviously there was nothing. So I went ahead and chased after this blaze. Until I couldn't. Yep. Yep, I didn't look good enough. Or waited long enough. Yep, he just fell above me. I knew it. I'm really good at calling things. And so I managed to block him off and keep myself safe while I can heal up. Because I quite literally had one heart. And then I found a blaze spawner. So I sat there for a little bit and started attacking the blazes. Look at that. I can actually do it. I can fight. I headed back home and decided to make the entrance to my rock a little bit fancier. And I think I did pretty well. Then I started making some paper for trading because we're about to make a trading post for all the villagers that I'm going to steal. Yep, that's right. We're gonna kidnap some villagers. Like this one. And his friend too. That was until a zombie also rudely interrupted me and infected him. And now him and my dog were fighting, and this was very intense. So I did not want my new dog to die. Yes, we have a new dog, by the way. Its name is Dog. Dog is a good dog. I went back to the village to grab some more villagers, and I decided to bring them back home a little differently. Yep. Once we made it back, I noticed only one of the villagers is the one that I really need, so I went ahead and got rid of the other one. Yep. Get him, dog. Good dog. And I guess I scared him so bad that he just went ahead willingly. You know, perfect. I made some more bookshelves for my enchantment table and added some sharpness to my sword. I also added a little bit of protection to my armor as well, and feather falling, as that was needed. Now that we have the blaze rods, I needed the ender pearls, and the fastest way to get those was to go to the other nether portal, since that was literally right by the warped forest. And this is where I make a lot of endermen very mad. As we got our pearls, I headed my way out, but then I noticed something.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
And it was a dried ghast. So I was very excited and immediately headed home. Grabbing dog and looking at the rainbow. Once we made it back, we made our Eye of Enders. And then we took our elevator down. Yep, I really need to finish it. And I placed some more warts. And I placed a brewing stand as well. And I started making some potions. Because we wanted a mending book. But I also wanted some cheap deals. So after finally finding one, I locked in the trades. But I need a bunch more wheat, so this is where the farm comes in handy. Then I went back to the village to grab some more villagers, because I did not have enough. And then this one, I let the zombie get him. Yes, don't worry, I helped him afterwards. Once he was infected, I took him out, and I waited till nighttime, and I made some potions for him. Started infecting the other villagers, and it actually went pretty well. Then we gave him the potion and the apple, and we waited. Since the villager at the house went so well, I went back at night to go grab the other one, and he turned back as I was bringing him home. Then the next day I wanted some more levels, so I jumped down, and that did not work out. I headed over to the mob farm, and I waited there for a little while, collecting some levels. Once I went back home, I noticed the dried ghast was gone, and that made me very worried, so I started looking around, until I noticed a little tiny thing floating in the sky. I immediately grabbed a lead, but it just came right to me. I didn't know it does that. Just to be safe though, I put the lead on him and tied him to the fence. I did make a harness, purple to be exact, but I couldn't put it on. I think I have to wait till it gets bigger. I had another feather falling book, so I added it on and got feather falling too. I also needed a lot of arrows, so that's exactly what I traded for. And then we also got the mending book for literally so cheap. Then we took our Eye of Ender and we started following it around. And this took a couple of days. At one point it led us into the ground. But as I kept going, there wasn't anything there. It actually led me straight into a pool of water. I decided to run fairly far away from the stronghold in hopes that Eye of Ender will take me to a new one. And on my journey of running away, I saw a village, so I had to see what they had for offerings. And my oh my, they had a lot of apples, and a bundle, and another one, and a saddle, which is perfect because they also had horses, which would definitely come in handy. So I picked whichever one had the most health, and I happened to jump 3 blocks as well. But we came to a dead end where we were just completely surrounded by water, so I unfortunately had to leave the horse behind and hop into a boat. When I say I want to be far away, I mean far away. Nighttime rolled in as soon as I arrived, so I slept in one of their beds. And they also had horses, so I tamed one, threw the saddle on, and headed off. finding more villages, but that wasn't our goal. We needed a stronghold. I found an insane mountain area. It was kind of hard to travel through, but we followed the Eye of Ender in hopes it brought us to a new one. We just started going down, and with 2 days left, we officially arrived at the stronghold. Doing a quick look around, we took some books and enchanted books, and we filled up the portal and jumped in. We are officially in the end on day 99. This will also be the very first time ever I have defeated an Ender Dragon, if I do. Figuring out tactics on my way to knock out these things, while also not getting knocked down. And once the dragon got low, I jumped to it and started taking my chances. One thing I did forget, however, was a pumpkin, and all these Endermen were very mad at me. Oh! Gonna be real angry. Go wait it out. Wait. The land again. Don't get me, don't get me. God. Oh my god, he's going. Oh my god. Oh, is he? Yeah, he is. Oh my god. Okay. My shield broke. We're doing this without a shield. Oh my god. Oh my. God, how much XP are we gonna get? Oh, we did it. It really wasn't that bad. That was so much fun. And that was it for day 100. I made it back to the overworld, defeated the Ender Dragon, and failed to read the end script. And once it reached day 101, because the sun has risen, I wanted to make my way back home. Oh my god! Oh, you're so big! Wait, okay. Wait. Where's our saddle? Here. Oh, he's so cute. Oh my god. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, so cute. And that is it for my very first 100 Minecraft Days video, where I defeated the Ender Dragon. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and if you guys want to see 200 days, I will defeat the Wither. Yes, that's right. I will try and defeat the Wither. So you guys let me know, and I will see you next time. Bye!
finish it. What?